individually. Okay. Step one, set your intention for the day. What do you want to happen today? What kind of goals do you have in place? And your attitude. You want to make sure that you have your attitude in check in a positive manner. And many times we do this through prayer, we do this through meditation, where we think about the things that we want. It's important to have goals. Sometimes we have personal goals, we have career goals, maybe projects that we want to accomplish. And the reason why it's important to have goals is because it helps you control what's going on in your life. It helps you focus on the important things. We have so many things that just come into our daily life that we don't expect or that we don't plan for. So it helps you focus on what's important. It helps you make good decisions, because if you know that you have a certain goal that you want to accomplish, it helps you think about, okay, now this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It helps you build self-confidence, and it helps you make progress and see some success in your daily activity. Okay. The second step is practice self-care. And I'm going to talk about your primary foods. And your primary foods are actually things that are not even foods that we eat, but they are most important as far as feeding our soul, okay? And the first one is relationships, exercise, career, and your spiritual life. Many times if those things are off balance or out of whack, so to speak, then we tend to overeat, we tend to stress. So it's important that we take care of ourselves in those 4 different categories. Okay? The first one, relationships. Relationships with loved ones, with family, with friends, with co-workers and neighbors. Are they healthy or unhealthy? Sometimes we have to look back and look at that relationship, assess that relationship. Is it a healthy relationship? We tend to work with people that we may not get along with, or we may even have family members that we don't really get along with, but we do have to tolerate them, so to speak. And so what do you need to do in order to make that situation better, or to make it manageable, or to make it work for the 2 of you, or maybe the group of you? And I have a couple of pictures there. And as far as what is a relationship, it's honest, it's trust, it's where you have boundaries. It's important to set boundaries. It's happy, and some other things too. We tend to compromise too when we're in relationships. Let's see, one that I did not mention: thoughtfulness, understanding, fun, respect, and love. So sometimes we have to just take a step back. We can be in toxic relationships. If you're in a toxic relationship, we can have real close friends, and the relationship may not be a really healthy relationship, because that person could be one that complains a lot. And when you do have, and you don't necessarily want to dismiss that person or not be friends with that person, but you have to maybe distance yourself. So sometimes we're close with people, but we have to distance ourselves from some of those toxic relationships. So relationships is the first primary food. The second primary food is exercise. Reasons to exercise. And we pretty much know these. It prevents premature aging, it's a stress reliever, it protects against illnesses, and there's so many different types of exercises that you can do. You can walk or even bike. Yoga has become very popular over the recent years. Swimming, and another one that's really popular is Zumba. I know a lot of people are doing Zumba these days. And so even if you work in a building and you may work on the 3rd floor, take the stairs when you go to your office as opposed to taking the elevator. So try to get as much exercise in as you can. The third primary food is your career. Are you in a career that you enjoy? Or is it time to make a change? And If you're in a career that you enjoy, then that's great because you don't mind going to work. If you have to work overtime, you don't mind doing that. And plus, it doesn't cause stress in your life. If it's time to make a change, then you have to do the necessary things to make that change. Is it that you need to maybe, and sometimes it's not even changing that job. It could be possibly maybe talking to your supervisor or your boss about a salary change, or maybe different work hours, or even maybe a different work location. So you have to assess your career to see if it's something, if that's something that's causing stress. Okay, the fourth step, primary food, is your spiritual practice. And we do that daily through prayer, through meditation. It helps us stay grounded. And I'm just going to go back to one of the slides and that one. Slide 6. And I want to read, I didn't read that caption there, but I like this picture that I found. And it says, prayer is when we talk to God, and meditation is when we listen to God. So we have to take those times, those special times throughout the day. I find myself sometimes if I'm faced in a challenge, if I'm in a challenging situation, I'll say a small prayer. We even pray before we eat. So it's important that we frequently talk to God. And meditation is when we quiet our mind and listen for those signs. If we're trying to make a decision or if we're trying to move in a certain direction, sometimes you have to quiet that mind and take time, that silent time, so you can listen to what God is trying to say to us. All right. Step 3, make healthy food choices. And I like this quote here. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. There's so many healing properties in the foods that we eat. And again, this is all about prevention. And it's important that we educate ourselves, too, on what foods benefit our bodies and how they can keep us well. And even if we are sick, there are times when we can turn things around. And so it's important to really be mindful of the healthy foods that we can eat. And those foods mainly are whole foods, fresh fruits and vegetables. Various spices are important as well. Okay? Step 3, make healthy food choices. Vegetables. I think vegetables is probably one of those foods that we don't really get enough of. Those green leafy vegetables are so important for our diet. They're a good source of fiber. They're loaded with vitamins, and they help reduce inflammation. They also have calming and anti-stress properties, and they help our bodies get rid of toxins, and also they provide energy for us as well. So it's important that we eat those green leafy vegetables. And I know growing up, I was a person that always loved vegetables, but everyone is not like that, and I do have a family member that is not really big on eating their vegetables. So sometimes you have to be creative with preparing them, because traditionally we tend to, if we have a pot of greens or we have cabbage, we'll put those greens and that cabbage in a big pot of water, and we just will boil it for 30, 45 minutes and just boil all the nutrients out. So it's important that we learn different recipes on how to fix these vegetables to make them appetizing and good. Okay. Fruits are very important as well. They help fight infection. They're rich in vitamins, nutrients, and they're, again, another good source of fiber. Vitamin C helps to strengthen your bones and immune system. So again, fruits really are another food item that we really don't get enough of. Fruits are very good as far as if you're going out for the day, or when you go to work, as opposed to picking up chips or taking a candy bar or crackers. Grab you a couple of pieces of fruit and put those in your lunch bag or in your pocketbook. And eat those as snacks. even in the evening when you get home, that's a really difficult time for me, the time between lunch and preparing dinner. So it's important that I have a banana or maybe have an apple or some type of fruit to eat before I have dinner. Okay? Step 3, healthy snacks. There's so many healthy snacks out there. We just have to just really look for them. They're nuts. Kale chips. Have you all heard of kale chips? Okay, kale chips. And they're really easy to make. You can buy them. If you buy them in the store, they're very expensive, but you can make them yourself. Again, as I mentioned before, bananas, apples, oranges, kiwi, even smoothies have become very popular. They have tropical smoothies is in the area. There's another smoothie, a juice bar. There are a couple in Virginia Beach. So if you are out during the day or in the evening or on the weekend, as opposed to going to Roosters or going to Skinny Dip, make your way down to the juice bar and get you a nice little healthy smoothie. And also cut up vegetables too. And a good way to do that, I mean, there have been times when I've gotten my vegetables and when I come home, if I do not wash them and cut them up and put them in a bag, then they may get pushed to the back of the refrigerator. So that's a good practice. Buy your vegetables, wash them really good, cut them up, and put them in little baggies. And then when you run out, you can pick up your vegetables there and take them as you're moving throughout your day. Okay? And again, the benefits are it helps you maintain balanced energy level. It helps you improve digestion. They're good mood foods. And I believe one of the doctors talked about bad mood foods. That's sugar, that's white flour, they're really that sugar, I tell you, it's really something, it's really challenging, but your vegetables, good mood food, and also healthy snacks, it helps you prevent from the added pounds as well. So, lots of benefits. And water. We hear so much about water now, and that's become so popular. Buying the bottled water or putting the water filters on your sink. But the question is, how much water do we really need? Some say that you should drink when you're thirsty. Some say you should drink 8 cups a day. Some say 15 cups a day. But it really depends on your age. There's a variety of factors. Your activity level, if you are involved, if you're a runner or if maybe you do aerobics, so you exercise daily, then you may need more water than someone who may not be involved in that, is involved in a lot of exercise. It depends on your climate, again, your diet, and also maybe any health concerns. If you are taking medication, it may cause you to have to drink more water. Too much water is not good. It can disrupt your sleep. If you drink, and I used to do this a couple years ago, I would go to bed with a bottle of water, and I would just drink that water before I went to bed, and then I was getting up like 3 or 4 times a night. I would wake up in the morning, and I was tired. So change that around. So you want to make sure that you're not drinking too much water at night if you have problems with sleeping as well. Too much can cause a mineral imbalance. And too little water can cause dehydration, can make you tired, even hungry, have headaches, and sugar cravings. So if you find that maybe you have a headache, think about, did I have enough water today? Did I drink my water this morning? Sugar cravings. If you find that you are craving sugar or candy bar, grab your bottle of water and drink that. That may take that craving away.
Easy and all.
Okay, some tips on making healthy food choices. Maintain a balance of various kinds of foods. Plan your meals and try different foods. We tend to sometimes live in a box where we eat the foods that we grew up on, or we eat the foods that maybe that we're just used to having all the time, and we don't open our minds to try different types of food. My advice for that is to There's so many things on the internet now. There's so many books out there now with different foods, and I'm going to talk a little bit about a book that I've written, and it gives you some suggestions on different foods. But back up to number 2, plan your meals. It's important to plan your meals. Maybe on the weekend before you go grocery shopping, or whatever day you go grocery shopping, as opposed to just going to the grocery store and just picking up food. Plan out what meals you're going to cook for that week, and then try to add a new food or maybe a new spice to your meal planning that particular day. And I do have a weekly meal planner there, and that helps you keep track of what meals that you're going to cook, or maybe what new foods you're going to try. Okay? And step 4, attitude of gratitude. And I think that's so important that we practice, that we remember that we're grateful for the different things that are happening to us, that we appreciate. And I'm just going to read the 15 steps to achieve gratitude. Appreciate, stop labeling, be optimistic, release your past. If you have some things that have happened to you in the past, try to release or come to some resolve with those issues. Avoid comparing yourself to others. Be kind, as I mentioned before. Stop using excuses why you can't get certain things done. Nurture relationships. Practice forgiveness. 10, avoid impressing others. 11, commit to your goals. 12, care for your body. 13, believe in your abilities. Believe in yourself. 14, dream. And 15, give. Give back. Give back to your community. It's very healthy to do that. Okay? So your action plan for change, the first thing that you should do is think about the goals, the things that you want to achieve, okay? And write them down. List them. You can use Post-it notes. You can use your calendar in your home. You can use phone notes. I've been using my phone for every single thing that I do. So if I have a note or something that I want to do, I'll write that in there, my goal for that particular day, and make them visible. If you write them and put them in a book and close it, then you may forget what you want to achieve, or you may forget what your goal is. So make them visible. Post them on your mirror, or maybe put them in your pocketbook. I tend to put them in my pocketbook. If it's something that I want to accomplish that day, I'll put it on a Post-it note and put it right there on my phone so I remember. And then when I get to work, I'll post it on my computer screen. So those are the action plan for change. Again, you want to make sure that you're listing your goals.
Could it be the lighting?
Some healthy reminders. Don't eat after 7 o'clock. When we eat late, our body takes a couple of hours to break down the food. So if you eat late, you tend not to sleep as well as you would if you hadn't eaten, say maybe that bag of chips or maybe that burger at 10 o'clock and you're going to bed at 11 o'clock. So you want to make sure that you're not eating real late at night. Again, you want to make sure that you're drinking your water, that you have to really read your body signs as to how much water you should drink. Pay attention to portion size. We tend to really overeat when your body has really signaled that it's full. You have overeaten at that point. We pretty much know when we're full, when we are satisfied with what we're eating. But we need to really watch our portion size. Get more sleep. We tend to lack sleep. We're constantly doing things. We have so many things on our to-do list that we're not really resting our body. So it's important that you get more sleep. Chew your food more. We tend to talk on the phone or talk to other people or even watching TV, and we may take 10 bites and then we're swallowing our food. So it's important to chew your food so your body can absorb those nutrients. Eat sitting down. And I used to have a bad habit of this when my children were younger. As I was fixing dinner and getting them straight, then I had to do this, and the phone's ringing, and I found myself eating standing up. That's not a good thing to do. Sit down and relax and eat sitting down. Reduce processed packaged foods. Those foods don't have a whole lot of nutrients in them. So you want to reduce your processed and packaged foods, those foods that come in a box. You want to stick with those whole foods, those lean meats and those vegetables and those fruits. Cook at home and eat at restaurants less. Eat less sugar in artificial junk food. Identify the temptation. Do not keep it in your house. So if you know that you love donuts or you are an ice cream, that may be something that you want to limit. And even what we do in my house is if we have a craving for ice cream, we may get one of the small cups, one of the small ones. And so you get that and you eat that and you take your time. You take about 30 minutes to eat that and enjoy it, and you know you can't go back for more because it's all gone. So you have to do what works for you. And find healthy foods that you like and eat them. So again, experiment with different foods. There's so many vegetables out there that we are not really accustomed to. When I say that we're not really accustomed to, I truly had not heard of them in the last couple of years. So like kale is one that I know it's been around for a long time, but that has just become really popular, I think, where people are making kale chips and just using them for various reasons. And also sauteing your vegetables too is another good way to fix them, to make them taste really good. Okay, closing quote. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Be willing is not enough. We must do. You can create the life you want, one step at a time. And as I mentioned before, that I have written a book, and it should be coming out in the next month. And this is what it looks like. It's about 66 pages, and it goes into a lot more detail. It's based on the talk that I just went over, and if you're interested, you can certainly write your name down and your email, and I will put you on my mailing list so that you would know firsthand. You'll be one of the first ones to find out when it's all ready. And also I have another action plan book, which is really a journal where you can record your intentions for the day, your self-care practices, healthy food choices, and your attitudes of gratitude. So you can really keep a record of your goals and the things that you want to accomplish, and you can go back and reflect on it. Okay, thank you. For